Alrighty, YouTube, it's your boy Zxous, and we're back with another Goddess of Victory Nikke video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about team building with Red Hood because I do want to get this out the way so you guys don't make any mistakes with this character. You actually have to play smart depending on what you're going to use her as, right? Obviously, she has the role of a supporter, defender, and an attacker. Clearly, her burst 1 is support stuff, her burst 2 is defending stuff, and then her burst 3 is the DPS stuff. So I guess you guys were right about the burst 2 defender, Keck W. But yeah, literally, when using this character, you want to build a team around her, right? And then when using her, you have to kind of play smart as her. So I'm going to give you guys an example of what I mean. But before we get into that, make sure you guys subscribe and like. We are going to be this is a video upload today. We are going to be live in a couple hours, 3 hours from now, doing massive summons. So if you guys want to pull up, right? The game is in maintenance, but when we go live, that means the game is about to be off maintenance or it's already off maintenance, right? So definitely pull up. But yeah, when using Red Hood, you gotta understand something, right? How her burst skill works is that it's all together. So you don't really want to mess up, right? Let me give you guys an example. Let's say my team is Red Hood, Noise, who's on a 40-second cooldown, Senti, Modernia, and Scarlet, right? I'm gonna keep it like that. Let's say that's my burst skill. And then my team. That's my team, right? And then the first burst rotation, I use Noise's burst skill, Senti's burst skill, and then Red Hood's burst skill. There's actually a problem there. If I use Noise burst 1, Senti burst 2, and Red Hood burst 3, there's actually a problem there. Because this entire kit counts as a 40-second cooldown, like it counts as one entire burst skill, everything is going to be on a 40-second cooldown. So, because you have Noise who's on a 40-second cooldown on her cooldown, and then Red Hood who's on a 40-second cooldown, even though you use her burst 3, she's on the cooldown. By the time you get to the next burst rotation, you're not going to have a burst 1 to use the burst skill until the cooldowns are done. So if you are going to be using her with 40-second cooldown units that are burst 1 or 2, you don't want to use her burst skill when they're using their burst skill. It's really as simple as that, right? If I'm using Noise, I'm going to use Noise's burst skill, then Senti, then either Modernia or Scarlet, one of those two, right? Then the second rotation, when, Noise is on cooldown, when Noise is on cooldown, then I would use Red Hood's burst skill, then I guess you could continue to use Red Hood's burst skill, or you can use Red Hood's burst skill, then Senti, then another burst 3, right? It really depends on what your team comp is and how you want to go about it. But the main thing is, if you're going to use her with 40-second cooldown characters that are burst 1 or 2, do not use her burst skill when using their burst skill, because everything is not gonna work properly, right? That's the one thing with this character. Obviously, her being burst 1, 2, and 3 makes her a bit more difficult to play than the average character, right? You have to be smart about this one. If you do want to use her with a burst 1 or 2 that's on a 40-second cooldown. It's really as simple as that. It's really as simple as that. In terms of the team to run her with, again, I can't tell you guys who to run with your team, but I'm going to tell you what I'm running. I'm going to be running her, Dorothy, or Litter, either Modernia or Summer Anise, and Schoolgirls. So it's definitely going to be Red Hood, Schoolgirls, and then it's going to be either Dorothy or Litter, and then Modernia or Summer Anise, or even A2, right? The reason why is because obviously with Naga and Tia, mainly Tia, you're going to have to re-enter the burst 1 stage, right? So I could use, Tia's burst 1, and then I can use, Dorothy's burst 1, then I can use Naga's burst 2, and then Red Hood's burst 3. And even though, with Dorothy and Litter, you still have 20-second cooldown characters regardless. So, like, what I was just talking about before with, like, if you were to run Red Hood with Noise doesn't really apply to that team, because you always have a 20-second cooldown character on that team regardless. So that team is always going to be fine regardless. So just ignore what I was just saying there. But yeah, it's really as simple as that. I can't really tell you exactly who to run because this character can literally be used with the entire game. Just remember, when you're using her with a burst 1 or burst 2, 40-second cooldown, you don't want to use her burst skill when they're using their burst skill, right? It's just not going to work because they're both going to be on cooldowns. You're going to go slow. The runs are not going to work, right? Use her burst skill when they're not using their burst skill. Use their burst skill when you're not going to use Red Hood's burst skill. Really as simple as that. So it's a little shorter one. Hope you guys did understand this one, because I know it's a bit difficult and complicated, especially when I explain things. It's a bit more difficult than the average human. Keck W, I'm from Mars. But yeah, it's your boy Zxous. I'll see you guys next one. I'm out. And again, we will be live in 3 hours with Massive. So that means we're gonna be buying packs and stuff like that on live. Yeah. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Subscribe. We're like 7 subs away from 8.6, which is insane. By the end of the, like, maybe in 10 days we can get a 9K. Then by the end of the month we could probably get like 9 point something. And then hopefully by the end of the year 10K. Thank you guys for all the support. And I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.